We all have areas in our lives that we wish were different, whether it's breaking bad habits, overcoming self-doubt, or finally achieving the goals we've set for ourselves. In the hustle of our daily routines, filled with endless tasks and challenges, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. Today, I want to unveil a profound truth from the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, which teaches us that it's not the events themselves, but our responses to them, that shape our destiny. What if the path to real, lasting change was not through external fixes, but through fortifying our inner selves? By applying Stoic wisdom, we can transform every obstacle into a stepping stone towards personal mastery, turning frustration into empowerment and chaos into order. Join me as we explore practical Stoic strategies to reshape your life from the inside out, ensuring that every step you take is grounded in wisdom and resilience. Together, let's discover how this age-old philosophy can provide practical solutions for modern problems, helping us lead a more purposeful and resilient life. Stay with me as we dive deep into these timeless principles, uncovering ways to foster inner peace and strength no matter what life throws our way. If you appreciate what we're doing here, a simple, free favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button and share the video with others who are on the same path with you. Today's content might challenge skeptics and provoke deep reflection, so I urge you to watch until the end to fully grasp the transformative potential of Stoicism in our everyday lives. Ready to start making real changes? Let's dive in. Awaken your inner power through Stoic mindfulness. Embracing mindfulness is where our journey begins, a practice deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy and today widely recognized for its power to transform lives. In Stoicism, mindfulness is all about self-awareness. It's the practice of becoming deeply acquainted with your own thoughts, emotions, and impulses. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively in the Meditations about the need to observe our own minds as an outsider might, recognizing thoughts and emotions without being consumed by them. It's about creating space between what happens to us and how we respond. Think of mindfulness as holding a mirror to your mind and actions. It's about asking yourself, what am I thinking and why am I thinking it? How do these thoughts shape my actions? This isn't just about uncovering negativity. It's about understanding the patterns we repeat daily, often unconsciously. Many of us fall into routines that shape our lives in profound ways, whether we realize it or not. By paying close attention to these patterns, we can learn to steer ourselves in a direction that serves us rather than limits us. To the Stoics, mindfulness is a tool that helps us live with intentionality rather than drifting along in reaction to every thought and feeling. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This simple yet powerful idea reminds us that we have a choice in how we respond to life. Mindfulness is the act of noticing that space between stimulus and response and choosing to fill it with intention rather than impulsiveness. Psychologist Carl Jung spoke of this need for awareness as well. He said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." By practicing mindfulness, you begin to make conscious those thoughts and feelings that have been running on autopilot. You start to see yourself with a clear lens, gaining insight into why you behave as you do, and noticing the roots of your reactions. This isn't about judgment, it's about observation. It's not about labeling thoughts as good or bad, but about seeing them for what they are and learning from them. The beauty of mindfulness is that it can be applied to any area of your life. Whether it's your interactions with others, the way you respond to challenges, or how you deal with personal goals, mindfulness allows you to pause and choose your response. This pause is where growth happens, It's where we replace mindless reactions with purposeful decisions that align with who we want to be. For the Stoics, this kind of self-mastery is essential to living a virtuous and fulfilled life. Take a moment to reflect on your daily routines and habits. Are there actions you repeat without even realizing? Habits that don't align with your goals or values? Maybe it's the way you react to stress or how you spend your time. This awareness is the first step to change. Journaling can be a powerful way to practice this. By writing down your thoughts and reviewing them, you bring your unconscious habits and beliefs to the surface, giving yourself the opportunity to understand and ultimately transform them. Remember, mindfulness is a skill that takes practice. Start with small moments. When you feel frustration or impatience, pause and ask, "Why am I feeling this way?" When you're about to make a decision, think, "Is this in line with the person I want to become?" These small moments of awareness add up and over time reshape the way you live. In many ways, mindfulness is about building a friendship with yourself, one rooted in honesty, curiosity, and compassion. Own your path. The Stoic art of taking full responsibility. Taking responsibility for our lives is one of the hardest yet most liberating steps we can take. In Stoic philosophy, responsibility isn't about fault or blame. It's about recognizing that we hold the reins of our lives regardless of the circumstances. The Stoics believed that while we cannot control external events, we can always control how we respond to them. This fundamental idea invites us to see ourselves as the architects of our reality rather than passive recipients of fate. The concept of responsibility in Stoicism goes beyond mere ownership of actions. It's about embracing the role of active participant in our own lives. Epictetus reminds us, "You are not your circumstances, you are your choices." To the Stoics, responsibility is power. When we stop attributing our current state to luck, other people, or past events, we unlock the potential to change our future. This shift isn't about disregarding the influence of external factors, but about choosing to focus on what we can change, our thoughts, decisions, and actions. In the world of modern psychology, this aligns closely with what's known as an internal locus of control. Those who possess this mindset believe they have control over their lives, that their choices matter, and that they are not merely victims of external forces. Psychologist Carl Jung emphasized that by taking ownership of our actions, we gain access to the unconscious drives and patterns that shape us. He famously said, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." When we accept responsibility, we move from a place of reaction to a place of intention, choosing how to navigate life rather than letting it dictate our path. But here's the thing. Accepting responsibility isn't always comfortable. It often means acknowledging uncomfortable truths about ourselves, our habits, and our mindsets. Sometimes we may realize that we've been holding on to beliefs or excuses that keep us stuck. The Stoics didn't shy away from these realizations. They welcomed them as opportunities for growth. By taking responsibility, we make room for honest self-reflection. We begin to see where we've been avoiding difficult changes, where we've let fear or self-doubt hold us back, and where we've allowed ourselves to remain in situations that don't serve us. There's a powerful sense of freedom in this, even if it feels intimidating at first. When we take responsibility, we are no longer at the mercy of external forces. Instead, we see ourselves as empowered to shape our circumstances, regardless of their difficulty. This doesn't mean we won't face hardship, but it means that hardship won't define us. Stoic resolve is about standing firmly in the understanding that while life may throw challenges our way, we get to choose how we meet them. Consider the way the Stoics approached setbacks and adversity. To them, every challenge was a chance to practice virtue, a test of character. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This profound perspective teaches us that obstacles are not roadblocks, but opportunities to refine our resilience and strength. When we take responsibility for how we respond to these obstacles, we turn them into stepping stones, moving us closer to the person we aspire to become. Taking responsibility also involves releasing the need for excuses. We've all caught ourselves thinking, "If only I had more time," or "if only things were different." These thoughts might provide temporary comfort, but they rob us of growth. Stoicism challenges us to face the truth about these excuses, to see them as barriers we create to avoid confronting our own potential. Instead of saying, "I'll start tomorrow," the Stoic approach is to ask, "What can I do right now with what I have?" It's about recognizing that the perfect moment will never arrive. All we have is the present, and we must act within it. This mindset shift isn't easy, but it's transformative. Imagine viewing your life through the lens of responsibility. Instead of feeling limited by what others have done or what has happened, you start focusing on what you can do here and now to create change. This resolve, this commitment to responsibility, leads to a quiet confidence that whatever life throws at you, you have the power to handle it. It gives you resilience in the face of failure, understanding that setbacks don't define you. They simply test your resolve and reveal areas for growth. Taking responsibility is an ongoing practice. Each day, we're given countless opportunities to choose how we respond to the world around us. And each of these choices builds upon the last, slowly shaping the person we become. Mastering your journey. Set goals that truly transform. Setting clear, achievable goals is one of the most powerful things we can do for ourselves, yet it's often where we struggle the most. In Stoic philosophy, setting goals isn't about grand ambitions or vague desires. It's about defining what truly matters to us and taking practical, deliberate steps toward it. The Stoics believed in focusing only on what is within our control, and the process of goal setting is an extension of that idea. When we set goals with clarity, we create a roadmap for ourselves that keeps us on course, even in the face of setbacks. Many people set goals that are broad and indefinite, like "I want to be happy" or "I want to succeed." But as Seneca reminds us, if one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. Without a clear vision, we're adrift, vulnerable to distractions and the sway of external influences. Instead, we need to break our goals down, defining what success looks like in practical terms. This way, each step becomes purposeful, and we can measure our progress, knowing we're moving in the right direction. In modern psychology, this is often called the SMART approach to goals, setting goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. This aligns beautifully with Stoic principles. By setting clear, specific goals, we're not only focusing on what we want to accomplish, but also grounding ourselves in actions we can control. Instead of saying, "I want to be healthier," a specific goal would be, "I want to exercise 3 times a week and replace sugary drinks with water." These smaller, actionable steps give us something concrete to work on each day, and each step we take builds momentum. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of choosing goals that are meaningful. Epictetus taught that we should focus on things that foster virtue and resilience rather than fleeting desires or superficial achievements. When setting a goal, ask yourself why it matters to you. Is it something that aligns with your values and helps you grow, or is it influenced by the expectations or opinions of others? The clearer you are on why your goals matter, the stronger your commitment to them will be, especially when you encounter difficulties. Carl Jung once said, "Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes." To set authentic goals, we must look inward and understand what truly resonates with us. This introspection prevents us from setting goals that are mere echoes of what society or others say we should pursue. Instead, we ground our goals in what aligns with our personal growth, our values, and the life we want to lead. This clarity gives us resilience, as we're less likely to give up when things get tough because we know why our goals are worth pursuing. But setting goals isn't just about creating a checklist. It's about creating a path. Each small goal should act as a stepping stone, bringing you closer to your ultimate aim. For example, if you want to cultivate a Stoic mindset, a series of goals could include daily meditation, journaling, or reading a Stoic text for 10 minutes each morning. These actions may seem small on their own, but over time, they compound and lead to lasting transformation. As you achieve each small goal, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment and progress, which further fuels your motivation to continue. Stoic philosophy also encourages us to set goals that are challenging, yet realistic. A goal should stretch us, but not overwhelm us. There's a fine balance between ambition and practicality. If we set goals that are too ambitious, we risk burnout and frustration. If they're too easy, we deny ourselves the growth that comes from pushing our boundaries. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one." This is a call to focus on action rather than perfection. We don't need flawless goals or the ideal plan. We just need to start, adjust as we go, and stay committed to the journey. And once we set our goals, it's crucial to revisit and adjust them regularly. Life is unpredictable and circumstances change, so our goals should remain flexible, allowing us to adapt without feeling like we've failed. The Stoics valued resilience and adaptability, seeing every change as an opportunity to exercise virtue and wisdom. If a goal no longer aligns with who you are or your current circumstances, don't be afraid to refine it. The point of goal setting is not rigid adherence, but meaningful progress. Finally, it's important to celebrate the small wins along the way. Too often, we focus only on the end result, forgetting that each step we take is part of the journey. In Stoicism, the journey itself is just as valuable as the destination. Each time you meet a goal or make progress, no matter how minor it may seem, take a moment to acknowledge it. This not only reinforces positive habits, but also helps you stay motivated and resilient. Unshakable strength. Building resilience that lasts. Building resilience and consistency is at the heart of personal growth, and it's something the Stoics valued deeply. Life is unpredictable, often throwing challenges our way when we least expect them. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control these external events, we can control our internal responses. This mindset shift is where resilience begins. Resilience, in the Stoic sense, isn't about avoiding difficulty. It's about facing it head-on, adapting and continuing forward. Marcus Aurelius put it beautifully. "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, obstacles aren't meant to stop us, but to strengthen us as we move through them. Think of resilience as a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Every time you face a challenge and choose not to back down, you're training yourself to withstand greater obstacles in the future. It's this process of gradual strengthening that prepares us to handle whatever life throws our way. And this resilience isn't just about enduring hardship. It's about learning from it, using each setback as an opportunity to grow. Carl Jung touched on this concept when he said, I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become. Resilience is the choice to keep moving forward, transforming adversity into a stepping stone rather than a roadblock. Consistency is resilience's closest companion. Without consistency, even the strongest resolve eventually weakens. It's easy to be motivated at the start of a journey, but that initial motivation can fade over time. Stoicism teaches us that motivation is fleeting, like a passing breeze, while consistency is something we cultivate through discipline. Epictetus once said, "No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time." This patience in the face of delayed results is a cornerstone of consistency. True progress requires a commitment to steady, often small steps that accumulate over time. One way to build consistency is through establishing routines that support your goals. These routines don't need to be complex. In fact, simplicity is often more sustainable. Perhaps you start your day with 10 minutes of mindfulness or journal at night to reflect on your day. Over time, these small actions become second nature, creating a foundation that strengthens your resolve. When challenges arise, you'll have routines in place that remind you of your goals and keep you grounded. The Stoics were big advocates of daily practices, rituals that centered them, prepared them for adversity, and reminded them of their values. Building a routine is essentially building a support system for yourself, one that keeps you consistent even when times get tough. Resilience and consistency are also deeply tied to self-discipline. Discipline is the ability to stay committed to our intentions even when the initial excitement fades or when challenges make it hard to continue. The Stoics saw discipline as a crucial part of living a virtuous life. They understood that it's not always easy to stay on course, but they believed in the power of perseverance. Every time you stick to a commitment, even when it feels challenging, you're reinforcing your ability to remain steady under pressure. This discipline fuels consistency, and consistency in turn builds resilience. Another essential part of resilience is learning how to manage failure. Stoicism teaches us that failure isn't something to be feared. It's a natural part of growth. When we fail, it's an opportunity to reflect, adjust, and try again with more wisdom than before. Instead of seeing failure as a defeat, we can view it as feedback, a guide that shows us what doesn't work so we can find what does. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." In other words, don't let failure define you or turn you away from your goals. Let it refine you. Every setback, every challenge is a chance to build resilience, to become stronger and more capable. Building resilience also means cultivating patience with ourselves. Change doesn't happen overnight, and personal growth is a gradual, often slow process. In a world that prizes instant results, Stoicism reminds us that true progress is subtle and requires time. Seneca advised us, "How much better to pursue a straight course and attain a goal where the words pleasant and honorable mean the same thing." The Stoic approach encourages us to be patient, to appreciate the process, and to trust that each day of consistent effort is bringing us closer to our ultimate goals. It's a quiet strength that allows us to persist without the need for immediate rewards. Resilience and consistency also help us handle life's inevitable uncertainties. By developing these qualities, we become less reactive and more adaptable. When things don't go according to plan, resilience keeps us grounded, allowing us to pivot without feeling defeated. We come to accept that setbacks are part of the journey, not the end of it. The Stoics believed that our strength lies in our adaptability, in our ability to meet each situation with a clear mind and an open heart, ready to learn and adjust. When we face life with resilience, we're better prepared to make thoughtful decisions rather than acting out of frustration or impatience. Rewire your mind. Cultivating a Stoic, positive mindset. The Stoics believed that our thoughts shape our experience of the world, and they taught that the mind can either be our greatest ally or our most significant obstacle. By fostering a mindset rooted in strength, purpose, and positivity, we can handle adversity with grace and keep our focus on what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius put it simply, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This is the foundation of a positive Stoic mindset. A positive mindset in Stoicism doesn't mean ignoring difficulties or forcing optimism. Rather, it's about cultivating a realistic, empowered outlook that enables us to respond wisely to life's ups and downs. The Stoics saw life as unpredictable, full of events outside our control, but they also believed that within each of us is the power to control how we think about and respond to those events. It's not about dismissing negative feelings, but about choosing not to be dominated by them. By training ourselves to see things objectively and to respond rather than react, we find a sense of peace that isn't easily disturbed by external circumstances. The Stoic mindset is grounded in what we call amor fati, the love of one's fate. This principle teaches us to embrace everything that happens to us, both good and bad, as an opportunity for growth. Rather than resisting or resenting difficult situations, the Stoic approach is to ask, "What can I learn from this?" Or, "How can this experience shape me for the better?" By viewing challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles, we start to see life's difficulties as meaningful and purposeful. This doesn't mean we always enjoy the hardships, but we accept them as part of the journey, knowing they have something to teach us. Psychologist Carl Jung spoke about the importance of integrating all parts of ourselves, including our struggles, to become whole. He said, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become." This echoes the Stoic belief that we are not defined by our experiences, but by how we choose to interpret and respond to them. A positive Stoic mindset encourages us to view each moment, each setback, as a building block in our character. Rather than letting pain or failure dictate who we are, we use these experiences to refine ourselves, to become wiser, stronger, and more resilient. Another critical aspect of a positive Stoic mindset is the practice of gratitude. In Meditations, Marcus Aurelius frequently reminds himself to appreciate what he has and to be grateful for the simple things. Gratitude in Stoicism is a way of training the mind to focus on abundance rather than lack. By recognizing and appreciating what we already have, we shift our focus from what is missing to what is present. This shift in perspective can be incredibly powerful, helping us to maintain a positive outlook even during tough times. Instead of dwelling on setbacks, we start to appreciate the blessings, both big and small, that surround us every day. To cultivate a positive Stoic mindset, we also need to practice detachment. The Stoics taught that most of our suffering comes from attachment to outcomes, to possessions, or to specific expectations. When we let go of the need for things to be a certain way, we free ourselves from unnecessary anxiety and disappointment. This doesn't mean we don't care or don't have goals. It simply means we recognize that our worth and happiness aren't tied to external results. Epictetus reminds us, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." By focusing on what we can control and releasing what we can't, we cultivate a mindset that is both positive and resilient, unshaken by the tides of fortune. Self-compassion is another powerful component of a Stoic mindset. While the Stoics often emphasize discipline and self-control, they also understood the importance of kindness toward oneself. We all make mistakes and fall short of our ideals, and a positive Stoic mindset includes the ability to forgive ourselves, learn from our errors, and move forward without unnecessary guilt. Instead of harshly judging ourselves for every misstep, we can choose to view each experience as a learning opportunity. This practice of self-compassion doesn't mean making excuses for ourselves, but it does mean treating ourselves with the same patience and understanding we would offer a friend. The Stoic mindset also involves a commitment to living with purpose. Knowing our values and living in alignment with them provides a deep sense of fulfillment and positivity. For the Stoics, living a virtuous life was the ultimate goal, a life dedicated to wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. When we live according to our values, our actions feel meaningful, and this sense of purpose fuels a positive outlook. Rather than feeling lost or at the mercy of external events, we feel grounded, connected to something greater than ourselves. One simple but effective way to build a positive Stoic mindset is through daily reflection. Take a few moments each day to reflect on your thoughts and actions. Ask yourself questions like, did I respond to challenges with patience today? Or, did I let trivial worries cloud my day? This kind of reflection helps us to stay mindful, guiding us back to our Stoic principles and reminding us of our power to choose a positive response. It's a practice that Marcus Aurelius used every day, and it's just as relevant now as it was then. Prioritizing health and self-care. Stoics understood that a strong mind requires a strong body, and that well-being is not a luxury but a necessity for living a fulfilled, purposeful life. The Stoics believed that in order to cultivate resilience, wisdom, and discipline, we must take care of the vessel that carries us through life, our physical and mental health. Epictetus reminded us that our body is a gift and a tool, something to nurture so we can pursue our goals with energy and focus. Self-care is not selfish, it's a vital component of the journey to becoming our best selves. In Stoicism, health is viewed as a preferred indifferent, meaning it's something we should strive for, even if it's not entirely within our control. We can't guarantee perfect health, but we can take steps to support it. The Stoics didn't believe in indulging every desire or comfort, but they did believe in balance and in respecting the natural needs of the body. In meditations, Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself of the importance of maintaining his physical health, acknowledging that a sound body contributes to a sound mind. When we care for our bodies, we are better equipped to handle the challenges life throws our way with patience, endurance, and strength. Self-care, from a Stoic perspective, is about discipline. It's the daily choice to do things that nourish us, even if they don't provide instant gratification. Exercise is a perfect example. In the moment, a workout might feel challenging or even uncomfortable, but over time it builds strength, resilience, and mental clarity. Regular movement isn't just about looking good. It's about feeling capable, energetic, and ready to face the day. Think of it as training not just for the body, but for the mind. When we exercise, we're practicing the discipline of sticking to something that benefits us, regardless of how we feel in the moment. Each workout becomes a reminder of our commitment to ourselves and our well-being. In addition to physical health, the Stoics understood the importance of mental and emotional well-being. Seneca famously said, "A sound mind in a sound body is a short but full description of a happy state in this world." Emotional self-care for the Stoics involves managing our thoughts and reactions, but it also means giving ourselves time to recharge. We live in a world that glorifies constant productivity, but true self-care includes rest and reflection. The Stoics knew the importance of setting aside time to slow down, think, and reconnect with themselves. Whether it's through meditation, journaling, or simply taking quiet moments throughout the day. These practices help us manage stress and remain centered. Nutrition, too, was something the Stoics valued as part of self-care. While they didn't have the modern understanding of diet that we have today, they did believe in moderation and eating to sustain rather than to indulge. Stoic philosopher Musonius Rufus advised simplicity in diet, believing that food should nourish us without ruling over us. Today, this might mean choosing foods that provide energy and mental clarity, foods that fuel our bodies rather than slow us down. Eating with intention is an act of respect toward ourselves. It's a way of acknowledging that we deserve to feel our best. Sleep is another critical part of Stoic self-care. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of rest, encouraging himself to rise early, but also to respect the need for adequate sleep. Quality sleep restores both body and mind, providing us with the energy to approach our day with a clear, focused perspective. In a world that often equates lack of sleep with productivity, it's easy to forget that rest is a fundamental part of resilience. The Stoics would argue that without proper rest, we cannot think clearly, act justly, or respond wisely. Sleep, in this sense, is not an indulgence, but an essential act of self-care that enables us to live according to our values. Mental self-care also involves guarding the mind against negative influences. The Stoics were particular about surrounding themselves with people and environments that uplifted them, and this remains relevant today. Epictetus advised, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." Protecting our mental space means choosing to spend time with those who inspire and support us rather than drain or discourage us. It's also about choosing what we consume in terms of media, conversations, and habits. When we're mindful of what we allow into our minds, we create an environment that supports positivity, focus, and resilience. Practicing self-care also involves tuning into our emotions without letting them control us. Carl Jung said, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become." And this reflects the Stoic approach to emotional health. The Stoics didn't deny emotions. Instead, they encouraged us to observe them, understand their source, and respond with reason. Journaling can be a powerful tool here, helping us process emotions and find clarity without being overwhelmed. It's a practice of gentle self-reflection that allows us to identify patterns, release stress, and refocus on what matters. In this way, journaling becomes an act of emotional self-care, helping us approach life with calmness and inner strength. Prioritizing health and self-care is about respecting ourselves enough to show up each day as our best version. The Stoics believed that self-care was essential not just for personal happiness, but for contributing positively to society. When we feel well, we're better able to support others, to make wise decisions, and to live with purpose. This perspective shifts self-care from something optional to something vital. Taking care of ourselves becomes a commitment to live fully, to embrace each day with energy and clarity, and to become someone capable of facing life's challenges with resilience and grace. Remember, true strength lies not just in enduring life's challenges, but in how we care for ourselves as we face them. By embracing resilience, cultivating a positive mindset, and prioritizing self-care, we're not only shaping who we are, but creating a life of purpose, peace, and inner power. Each day is an opportunity to become just a bit better, a bit wiser, and a bit stronger.